Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode here on Tritoncraft, and we've got an emergency. We've got to unfortunately change our plans as we talked about in the video last week because, guys, my animals keep escaping. All these animals that I have around here, and I pushed the button one too many times. Sorry. All the animals I have around here, and I don't know if this is a bedrock issue. I know leads have always been tricky with Minecraft, especially when they first introduced them. I thought they had gotten better, but I've noticed lately that some of my animals seem to be missing a little bit, and I don't know if it's... I mean, some of them are on hills, like these horses are on hills, and I don't know if they're getting far enough up the hill and clipping around like a tree or getting stuck on something, and then the leads break, and then they wander off. I've only got 2 pigs now for some reason. I don't know why that is. But the cows, once again, have been causing me a lot of headache and heartache, and we're going to talk about this in just a moment. If you caught my live stream, and if you're not catching my live streams, ladies and gentlemen, I am streaming every single week over on Twitch, Tuesdays and Thursdays, 6 to 10, and then Sundays from 10 to 2. So make sure that you're tuning in over there so that way you can catch me streaming, because it's really, really fun. And that's when I do all the fun kind of grindy projects and whatnot. Twitch.tv/epicfilm, guys. Make sure you guys subscribe. But you see I moved the cows over to here. And this is not the original number of cows that I moved over here because I only had 2 left. And for some reason, a bunch of cows again that I had, because I had like 6 originally, and they had again broken off their leads. They were tethered over here, and somehow they had broken their leads and they had disappeared. Like I said, I don't know if it's a chunk loading issue, like when the chunk loads in, if the tether doesn't load in correctly with the animal or whatever. I don't necessarily know. Or if they, like I said, wandered down here somehow and the lead broke because of like falling down a block counted as another. I don't know. I don't know what the case may be. So that's a thing that happened though. So I decided instead, I know we were supposed to build the little kelp thing down in the ocean glass house that I've got kind of going down there today, but instead I decided that we're going to build a nice huge pen for the animals. But guys, take a look at this thing. The building, we finished this on the stream the other day. I've still got to figure out what I want to put in here. I'm thinking some kind of villagers, or I'm thinking it's just something. I don't necessarily know what, but we got this thing done. This thing was all demolished, of course, in the last episode, and now we've got the nice rift over here. This nice rift with the fogged glass effect. Of course, that just looks absolutely beautiful. Love that. And then this magical kind of tendril, this like almost magical hand or tentacle, like leaping up out of the ground and kind of going back under and then up the ground, and then it goes up there through the building, and then it wraps around the other front side here, and then it looks like this kind of 3-fingered claw like falling out of the front of the building or whatever, like almost like it was a magical hand or tentacle that like reached up out of this rift and smashed its way through this building, and that's why it was destroyed. Like, I really, again, this area is all about telling a story, and I really, really, really wanted to tell a really wonderful kind of story here. Oh, I kind of like that with the 3 fingers like over my head. You'll also notice I've been chucking in some different colored blocks in with the blue concrete. I've got some lapis blocks in there now. I love the contrast between that. I normally have been playing in Chroma Hills, as you guys know, especially if you've been watching the earlier episodes in the series, but like if you look at the texture for the concrete powder, which is right next to my head there on the, well, it's the right-hand side of the character. But, you know, basically, it's a light kind of powder blue versus the darker blue of the concrete. But I like that lapis block because it has that kind of gradient in it where you can really, really see the texture kind of go from that almost darker blue of the concrete. Like this kind of matches in that darker blue of the concrete, but then you get some of these lighter colors in here, so it makes a more even transition. So I used some of my lapis, and I chucked in a bunch of lapis blocks, so that way we had a little bit of color, we had a little bit of texture kind of going on in here as we kind of look at this. But I really, really love it. It looks amazing, and I can't wait to figure out what exactly I'm going to throw into that building. But it's one of those things, as we kind of develop the area, I will figure out exactly what kind of farm we need over there, and it will find a home in the structure here. Ow. Ow. Delicious. All right. So, as I said, we are going to be building a nice stable for a lot of our animals, including some automated sheep farms. So we're going to have to do some redstone stuff. We're going to have to do a lot of fun stuff. And this is the area that I've picked out here. And you can see I've got a whole bunch of my sheep in here. I did breed a bunch of these, so there are more in there that are not tethered, but a lot of them are still tethered outside. I built up the wall like a couple, got them in there, and then tethered them up. And then I just caught some random llamas from the trader, stuck those over there. But basically, I'm thinking this is going to go pretty high. Now, I want to kind of, once we get all the animals into little stable pens inside, I want to demolish part of the building. Like this rift here, like when the island ripped out and this piece came up here like this and ripped out, it kind of ripped a hole in the building a little bit. Like I want to demolish a big portion of this. But as we have done with the other builds in the area, we're going to build up the building first. And then we are going to, you know, demolish it and kind of figure out how it fits structurally into the area. I see you over there, horsey. Don't think I don't see you over there. It's also a cow over there. But yeah, I'm not 100% sure how tall this is going to be, but I kind of want to have at least like the sheep and the pigs and the cows in here. Maybe not the llamas and the horses. The llamas and the horses will probably go into something different some other point down the road. I'm not 100% sure what, and I'm not 100% sure where. Maybe they would almost make more sense if we built something for them over closer to the village. Like if we kind of cleared out, like we could either do it over here or we could do it like over here somewhere. Like if we built like a little stable house or something like that over here for the horses and stuff. That way they're theoretically like kind of close enough to the villagers to make sense for like the villagers. If the villagers were going to use the horses and whatnot, I really feel like it's kind of more appropriate to stick it over here. Now that I kind of think about it, this is such a nice wide open area. Nice, wide open, expansive area over here. So I kind of really, really like that idea now that I think about it. We're going to ponder on that, but I'm not 100% sure exactly what we're going to do. Hi, Jelly. How are you? Yes? You good? Yep. Yeah, so the llamas and then the horses would go into that different pen. And then we could have our animals kind of separated out just a little bit. But we're going to have like some little automatic sheep shearing stations up in here, to where you could set up an observer basically, and it detects the difference between when the grass block gets eaten and turns into a dirt block by the sheep, and then it automatically activates a dispenser that will fire off some shears and shear the sheep. So I want to get like every single color of sheep over here and have kind of an automatic wool farm, and then basically that bad boy is going to be running like the whole time we're over here working too. Now, I have not looked up a practical farm. I've not looked up a practical version of this farm in Bedrock Edition. I don't know that it exists. It's based on what I've seen, especially in Season 7 of Hermitcraft, because I know Beef has one. I know a couple other people have. Grian has one. A couple other people have the different kind of sheep farms where you can have like a lot of different things, you know. But I want to make sure that I have, you know, the same thing. And I don't see why it wouldn't work in Bedrock, because it's literally just an observer detecting a block change. Unless, and I do know that this is a case in Bedrock Edition, like with melons, like in Java Edition, an observer will detect the change in the stem of a melon and pumpkin block, like once the fruit grows. So you can set up an observer block to detect the stem change, and that's what it uses to fire like a piston system. In Bedrock Edition, you actually can't do that, because the Bedrock Edition, it does not detect that. So you actually have to set up melon and pumpkin farms a little bit different in this one. Basically, you have to set up an observer for whenever the pumpkin or melon appears on a block and then break it with a piston. So it's just a little bit different. So that could be a hindrance. We're going to find out today, because I'm going to set up at least a couple of those shearing stations. This is going to be a multi-episode project, probably, just because of all the redstone that's going to be involved. Plus, we're going to want to get some hoppers in here. I'm going to need to go get some more iron, and we're going to want to make sure that we get everything kind of set up about this project, so that way it makes complete sense. And like I said, I don't know, I feel like the building's tall enough, but I feel like, yeah, we're going to end up like, it's going to have to be a big building, and then we're going to have to destroy a good portion of it because of where this ripped up out of the sky. And you know, well, out of the ground. It's up in the sky now. But we're going to have to rip a big portion of it out of here, so that way we can kind of, you know, have our sheep all throughout it and whatever. It's still going to fit into the ruined aesthetic, but it's going to be functional, kind of like the storage building is, and kind of like the bee houses, like things like that. We're going to make sure we make the building functional, because we really need it to be. So let me go to sleep here, because we're just about nighttime, and I'm going to rejoin you guys when I've kind of collected all the supplies to kind of continue building up over there, and we're going to test out one of these sheep shearing pods, as it were. Okay, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and you can see we have been doing some work in here, and I settled on this is such a simple design, and I was overcomplicating it. I had the observer block pointing underneath the grass block for whatever reason, which doesn't make any sense, because you have to have a collection system under here, which I haven't installed yet, but I had a really complicated guys. Like, so all this redstone dust running everywhere and everything, and literally, and you know what, there's probably some redstone pros out there that would even tell me that this is overcomplicated, but literally it's just a torch. out of the back of an observer block. When the sheep eats the grass, just like that, boop, and you can see it automatically activates the dispenser, and then that fires off the redstone on the top and automatically shears the sheep, and I collect the wool. So I've got it working completely, but the problem is, guys, we're out of dispensers. We're out of these guys completely, and I need bows to make them. So that means we get to visit a place that we have not visited on the server in quite some time, and that is our skeleton farm. Our beautiful, beautiful, amazing skelly farm that we have, which is very far away from here. So I'm going to join you guys back over there. And here we are, ladies and gentlemen. I have not been over here in quite some time. I really miss this place, I'm not going to lie. My beautiful little cabin that I built over here. This, of course, is on the edge of the desert that we have been strip mining slowly but surely away in this world. This is all just sandstone over here. We've clipped away a lot of this desert, but there's still quite a bit of it left, obviously, in terms of sand. But yeah, I miss it over here. I've not been over here in quite some time. You guys wouldn't have seen this until, unless you've been followers of the series, I think this was like somewhere in the single-digit episodes that we actually finished the skeleton house on top of the actual farm, which is pretty dope, if I do say so myself. Also, this is one of my favorite things about this entire world that I've ever built, is this nether portal just kind of recessed into the mountain with all the stone blocks and everything all around it. Nice llama floating around there. There we go. But of course, we are heading to the skeleton farm, which is this guy here, which is this really weird looking, yes, this is a skull, ladies and gentlemen. I think it looks more like one when you're on the ground kind of looking up at it and everything, and it's like, oh, got his mouth, got his mouth open and everything. And then we've got some armor sets back here. These are, of course, made with all the armors that we get from the skeletons. So let's head down. We need bows, basically, is what we're down here for. And we're going to just get a whole bunch. We're going to combine them, and then we're going to make dispensers out of them. What I can also do, if I really want to, is this is a cave spider spawner. If I really felt like it, I could kind of open this thing up. But I never did anything with this. We've never actually built anything out of the cave spider spawner in terms of like an actual spawn area. But we could, and we could totally build something like we have over here with the two skeleton spawners that are linked together, and we could just build it somewhere down here so we're out of range of the actual skelly spawners, but we'd still be in range of this guy, so that way we could use a spider farm down here too. That's one of those projects that I'm going to have to do it eventually, because it would be really nice to have a string farm, because it'd be much easier to make a bunch of bows than it will be to actually get a bunch from skeletons and craft them up. But basically, this is what we're going to kind of be left to here. There's just a whole lot of this. I'm going to have to bust up a whole lot of anvils. There's a bow right there. But a lot of bows you get from skeletons are basically really badly disrepaired. Do I even have an anvil down here? I think I do somewhere. Yeah, there we go. This one's already not in the best of shape anyway. Yeah, ooh. But the other good thing is we're going to get lots of bones, and what I need is lots of bones for different projects, especially bone meal, things of that nature. I just need a lot of it. And bones, yeah, we just get tons and tons and tons. Of course, the entire structure up on the surface is made of bones, things of that nature. We also have a garbage disposal down here, which is this guy right here. We chuck everything in here, and we can actually lock this thing. So that way, if we do chuck an item in there, well, it's unlocked right now, so that didn't help me. But we can actually lock this garbage disposal, so that way, if we accidentally chuck something in there, it's a system that I really wish I would have installed on some of the other garbage disposals we have, but I never did. You guys know how it is. We've got, you know, gold and iron nugs going on in there as well. But there are two skeleton spawners here. If you've never been here before, there are two skeleton spawners. One is behind this wall here, where the elevator is, and then one is behind this wall here. They are both within enough blocks of each other so that if I stand right here, basically where the killing chamber is, both of these are producing skeletons. So this thing produces a lot of skeletons really quickly. And I mean, we could just sit here, we could just keep going back and forth, and we could just keep mowing through these things. And this is kind of like, I mean, it works better for early game stuff, but I mean, I still need it for different things. Like I said, if we're building a skeleton farm, or not a skeleton farm, if we're building things with a lot of bones, if I need a lot of bones, that's the thing it's most useful for. Or if I need a bunch of bows for, you know, things like dispensers and the like. And we can chuck the arrows because the arrows are useless to us. But let's combine up some of these bows. Because basically, I don't think they changed it anyway to where you had to have a full... You notice that the dispenser's not even coming up in here. Because you need a full health bow in order to build this thing. You also need a bunch of cobblestone, which I don't have on me right now. And I don't even have... Do I have an ender chest down here somewhere? Oh, I do have some cobble. We do have some cobble, so that's at least good. Also, like, this is all the bone blocks we have. Like, just a ton of bone blocks over here. Just an obscene amount. And, you know, the longer I'm down here, the longer these things will just kind of continue to spawn. It's probably not the most super efficient farm design. Again, if you're kind of one of those, you know, Minecrafters who's been around a while or whatever, you know, but it's my farm, and that's the thing that I love about my world. It's not that I don't really love the designs that I've borrowed from other people's worlds, you know, with full accreditation, of course. I built a version of Azuma's Guardian Farm from Hermitcraft Season 6, and I built a ton of different stuff inspired by Silent Whisperer. So, you know, I love that kind of stuff, but I always like it when I at least know enough about a Minecraft mechanic that I can make a workable farm out of it. And that's what this is. It's just water, you know, water streams pushing skeletons into a central killing chamber. I mean, literally, probably most people that play Minecraft have probably made something like this at some point in their lives, so that way they can centralize mobs into a central location and just kind of mow through them like that. Most people, like I said, most people that play Minecraft have probably made something like this at least at one point or another in their lives. Yeah, let's combine some of these guys together here. Let's get some full strength bows. There we go. There's one. There's one. We like it. They start to get more expensive, though, which is the sad thing. And especially if they're enchanted. Do I have a stone wheel down here? I really should if I don't. But all I need is like a stone slab and some sticks to make that, right? Can I make it with cobble? Is that a thing? Oh, I need some wood planks. I have wood planks. I know I do. Yep, there we go. Can I make it with cobble? No, I have to have regular smooth stone, but that's okay because we've got our silk touch pick on us. We'll go get some. That is not a problem. We will get what we need. Don't you worry. And this, of course, is like it. This was an old mine shaft area, like an old mine area, where there was a mine shaft running through here, and you could get all sorts of different stuff and whatnot. Just want to get a little bit of stone so I can convert to slabs, and then we can chuck whatever we don't use into the box there. We'll get to the end of this hallway, and then we'll be good. I'm all about the granite deposits right now because I'm using granite, of course, in the build with all the bricks and stuff that I have over there. And all of the bricks and stuff and the granite, just it complements it really, really well. That is one of those things that I borrowed from Hermitcraft. B-Dubs, I know, does that a lot. But a lot of people that build with bricks in Minecraft kind of do that kind of aesthetic where they use that. And it looks really, 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 really good. If you've never used it, just mixing in things like that, it looks really, really great. So, okay, so we've got enough. We've got what we need. Let's whip up some slabs here, and let's get a grindstone, because I can de-enchant these bows, and they probably will take a lot less to craft. So, there we go. I did not need to make that many slabs. That? No, probably not, but okay, whatever. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Let's stick that guy right here. Because the good thing is we can also take this and use it to kind of repair tools and things like that and whatever. But this way we're not trying to combine enchanted bows and stuff that are just going to suck all of our stuff out of us here. But they do start to cost more and more and more levels as they get more and more repaired, unfortunately. And this is kind of not the most efficient way to get bows, and I guarantee you I will abandon this at some point. Just go grab some string and whip together whatever I can. But hey, as long as we can do this, we might as well take advantage of the farm. I do need bones and whatnot anyway. Like I said, I need a lot of bone meal. I've chewed through a lot of my bone meal supplies, making all the flowers and doing all that kind of stuff over in the new farm area. And it's going to be good. So hang on for me, guys. I'm going to go ahead and finish up all my collections here. We'll probably head back to the main base, and we'll probably stock up on some more bows and other resources as well from all the string I have over there. And then we will kind of get ourselves moving and get the rest of those farms built. Welcome back, everybody. Once again, we are back over in the new area, and I did manage to get my hands on a few dispensers. In fact, I got my hands on a whole stack of them. Some of them from the bows. Some of them were from the old base. I just had a whole bunch of them sitting over there, like 40, 45 of them or something like that. And some of them I used up some string to make some new bows and all those kinds of things. So we ended up getting a whole lot more. Also, I was over at the Guardian Farm to get more levels, so we got some more sea lanterns for our projects over here, which is good because we were running kind of low. Also, I got some more iron because we're also going to need You know what? I still haven't decided exactly how I want to do everything over here just yet. I think I want to do a minecart collection system. Just minecart rails, just kind of running back and forth periodically. I could just do hoppers that sends them into a centralized area. I mean, it kind of really depends. Because I can also just build like a basement down at the bottom of this building here. Ooh, you guys are just kind of waiting to get in here, aren't you? Or get out of here, I should say. But yeah, what we could do is we could just do hoppers, and we could just do a basement down underneath here. And if we just have a basement down there, then we could just pick everything. I was going to say, I didn't get rid of those dispensers, did I? No, I didn't. That would have made me really mad. That was not what I wanted to do. Thank you. Yes. Thank you. The real tricky part is going to be getting these guys to settle into their permanent homes here, as it were. Which means I need more of this glass, to be 100% honest. And we're also going to need some different... I think I'll chuck in lighting, actually. Give me those... not that. There we go. I think we're going to chuck in, whatever, some lighting. And things of that nature here. In between these modules. So, bam, and there we go. We just got more wool. That thing is working, and that's a great thing. And I wanted to just do one test to make sure I could build something like... I mean, like I said, it can't be any different between Java Edition and Bedrock. And I mean, I can't imagine it's just more complicated than I've made it here. Just sticking a little redstone torch in the back of this thing, and then you just need a full block to kind of wake it up and go. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of these in a row. So here's the problem. There are 16 colors of sheep. And I would like to have all the sheep on the first floor. So that means we need to expand the size of the building. Now, this one down here, if we expand one block out, we're going to get one more module, which is 7. But then we need somewhere 2 more blocks. And I don't necessarily know where that's going to come from. I see you trying to jump your way out here. If we push the building 2 more blocks down this way, I mean, it's going to, like, we're going to have to reshape the road, like, a little bit. Maybe we can cut into this bank and take some of this bank back. Like, I'm not 100% concerned about that. But we'll leave this to kind of go for a minute so that way it can grow. We can knock this out of here. Knock a couple of these different things out of here like so. And like so. Yeah, that's kind of perfect. So we'll extend the road out this way. We'll have to move this light pole in this way. Of course, we're going to have to move the llamas in order to do that. And we're just going to push the road a little bit further in this way. So the road's going to kind of air out this way. We'll move this light post back to or something like that. I'm not 100% sure. Then we should be okay. Which means we need some blockage. I see... Listen, sheep, I see you over there. Wanting to come over here and jump out the door, but you're not going to do it. You're not going to do it. And then, yeah, we'll extend the building out one more side this way to get one more module in here, and then we will have 16 modules in here. Then we just have to dye each of the sheep, and then we just have to get our collection system in order, and then we will have all of the different colors of sheep, and we have an automatic wool farm providing us with all different types of colors of wool, which I think would be absolutely amazing. Yeah. The only other thing that we really need, speaking of collection systems, is I also need a lot, and I mean a lot of shears, which I have next to none of right now, because I didn't bother with any of that. So that's one thing that we've really got to focus on, is more shears. And boom, there we go. I don't even know if you need the redstone dust necessarily. Let me actually test this. No, you don't even need redstone dust for this. Yeah, you don't even need redstone dust because this powers this block, which sends a signal through the observer. So you don't even need that. How are there 2 in there? How did you get in there? Get your stupid face out of here. Excuse you. Do not... No. You have to stay there. I hate working with sheep. This has been one of the most maddening things. You think villagers are a pain? Villagers are like a breeze compared to dealing with sheep. These things have been maddening. Get Like, and this guy, like, won't move out of here. And then this guy keeps wanting to... Can you please get in the... Whoa! I'm telling you. Building these automatic farms, this is the most frustrating thing. This is what takes so much time when people are building these automatic farms in any iteration of Minecraft, because it's always this nonsense that sheep or whatever entity you want to cram into whatever spot you want it in will not obey you and will not listen. Look, I don't care which one of you it is, but somebody's going in this hole, okay? No, you get out of there. Get out of there. No, you... No, you get in there. No! Somebody, please. Just get in the hole. This would make... If I had my wheat piece... I don't have a little piece of wheat anymore, though. Nope. Okay. And there we go. Okay. So now, cover that. Because I think this is how it did it. It jumped up on top of this and over there. Okay, well, you're in there now. Good. You stay there. Just hang out. Just do your thing. You're fine. Let's borrow these shears really quick. See, I've only got 4 pairs in just this one as it is. We need way more shears in way more places over here. Why? You know, just... You can't win with these things. You really, really can't. And I think we'll just kind of chuck in these blocks here, like so. Yeah, that's nice. That's perfect, and I like that. And I'm here for it. I'm 100%. Can you get out of here? What is with you? Stay over here, please. Go hang out with all these guys. Don't they look fun all trying to cram into the corner like this? No, he is just gung-ho. He's like, you took my spot, jerk. Get out of my spot. I'm actually going to take the redstone dust off of here because I really want to see if this works without the redstone dust. It should, from what I can see. But then again, we might not get the dispenser to activate properly because there's only 4 pairs of shears in there. Don't look at me. Look, eat your grass. Eat your grass. Perfect. Yep, and that worked perfectly. Excellent. So yeah, we don't even need redstone dust. So it's super simple in terms of redstone components. You literally just need an observer pointing into the grass block that's right underneath this. Then you need a dispenser, and then on the back of the observer, you just need a redstone torch. That's all you need. And then everything else will work absolutely perfectly, wonderfully fine. So now the only thing we need to do is we need to extend the walls out. So you guys hang on, and I'm going to extend the walls of this building out, and we're going to get the rest of these modules in place. And then comes the fun part where we got to try to shove all these sheep into their pens. Oh, I'm not looking forward to this. All right, I'll be right back. All right, welcome back, everybody, and we are down in the basement of our little sheep hall. Let me tell you guys what an ordeal this thing has been to put together. First, I did it wrong, like completely wrong, so that it was just a giant mess. It was way too packed in. It took forever to get the sheep kind of penned into their holes in the first place, and then I completely set the entire thing up wrong, so it was just completely a mess. I had to redo the entire thing, which meant moving the sheep again. At least the first time when I tried to move the sheep on the one side, it completely messed it up. This is going to be our little basement entrance. We're going to get some trapdoors over here. I'm going to get some stairs running down here into this basement area. And I'm going to fix up these walls. I'm going to do something with the rest of the walls and all this kind of stuff in here. I just decided to go with a cobblestone aesthetic down here because I figured basement makes sense. We'll get some other block types in here to kind of vary it up a little bit. But behind all of these, on top of our hoppers, we have hopper minecarts. So basically, whenever the sheep get sheared above, the items are automatically collected and dispensed into these chests, which you can see everything is kind of working, and we're getting a bunch of different colors of wool. And now this thing will just kind of run the whole time while we're here, and get us a lot of amazing wool. So let's head upstairs, and you can see. Again, it's very simple basement. I got to do some more stuff, like I said, with the walls and everything. I'm going to expand it out a little bit that way. And we want it to be just a little bit bigger so we can utilize the space a little bit more and have a nice kind of design down there. But let's head inside here so you guys can actually take a look at the farm proper. And this is it, basically. So, I mean, a very, very simple design. Again, all this is, and you can see through here in the back where I haven't had it closed off, but there is an observer block that points into the grass block. And essentially, when the sheep eats the grass, when the grass regrows, which for some reason it's like sometimes it takes forever for it to regrow, and I don't know why that is. But anyway, once the grass, see, this guy's grass is regrown, but he hasn't chewed it yet. But basically, as soon as he does, the observer will detect it, and it will fire off the dispenser that's pointing at him, which is full of shears. And then that will immediately shear it, and then that hopper minecart that's down below will grab that wool and suck it down into the chest down below. And we've got one of every single color sheep here. And the good thing about this design is, too, is we can come in here. Like, if I want to change all the colors of all these sheep, there you go, see? Boop. And there it goes. Collected and dusted. So, yeah, and there we go. That guy there, same thing. But basically, say if we need like a whole ton of white wool or a whole ton of black wool, a whole ton of green wool, whatever the case may be, we can just come in here, we can just dye all of them and just kind of AFK at the farm a little bit and let the farm kind of do its thing. And, you know, it's going to be that much better. Let me go sleep, and then I'll come back here. We'll talk a little bit more about other plans we have for this structure. Okay, it's a brand new Minecrafty day, but yeah, so, I mean, the rest of this building, you can see we've got a stairwell here in the middle, and now the original design that I built this thing with, I put the pins in too far in the middle, so there was literally no walkway in between them. It was literally just this side and this side butted up against each other, so you wouldn't even have been able to even get in here and do anything if you needed to. You can also access these from the top if you really need to. Oh, okay. That was the thing. Yeah. See, sometimes the grass regrows a little bit faster. Sometimes it doesn't. Now that I've got this extra stripe in here, like you kind of have to keep this extra stripe of grass in here along the front because just the ones by the sides of it just doesn't seem to really do it enough for whatever reason. I don't know why. It should grow way faster than it does. But the rest of this structure, we don't need more sheep. We've got every single type of sheep here. We've got every single type of wool being automatically harvested. So now the rest of this structure, we're going to make it at least one more floor. And we are going to move in that's the wrong way. We're going to move in the rest of our passive mobs like our cows and our pigs. And, you know, that's these guys. I think we're just going to dedicate a floor apiece to them. And those are going to be the parts of the building that are really destroyed. Now, that's also one of the aesthetic things that has to go in here is we still have to demolish this building to kind of fit in with the area aesthetic. We need to really, really mangle this building up. Now, because of where the sheep pens are, obviously we're going to be a little bit limited in necessarily what we can destroy, but basically anything above this glass line here, like in here, we can destroy a lot of that and leave. Like I said, I want to kind of make a rip in the building, like almost a V-shaped tear in the building, kind of from down here up because of this thing here. And I want to have a lot of debris kind of on the outside, like when this thing ripped up out of the ground and when this thing pulled up into the sky, it ripped open a huge, huge rift here. So that's one aesthetic we're going to add in there. So these stairs here might end up getting destroyed, and maybe this is the only way you get up to the next floor. And I'm not 100% sure exactly where the next floor is going to be yet either. It may be right at this level. I mean, well, I kind of don't want to put it at that level. We kind of need to go one level higher because I want to be able to access this if I need to. For whatever reason. Like I said, you can re-dye the sheep if you're down here on the bottom too, but I might close these cells up as well, so that way you can't access them from the floor. I'm not 100% sure. We can't do that from, like, we can't block off the glass, obviously, but we can at least put something in there to kind of keep it going. But so yeah, we're going to at least have one more floor. I'm not 100% sure. I think, see, I'm not 100% sure if we should do a full floor for the cows and a full floor for the pigs, or if we should just have, maybe we could have one floor with just both. Do we really need to have two separate floors? Or we could do one floor with two separate pens. Like when this comes upstairs, it can basically go into a cow pen on like one side and a pig pen on the other side. I don't necessarily know that it really needs to have that much space for all of the, I don't necessarily know, but at the same time, I don't want to not have enough space for them. But like I said, we need to make sure we're working it into the Destroy the Setec of the area too. So like I said, basically like right here, like up this way and then up this way. It's just going to be like a big V, like ripped out of the entire building. We're going to take a huge, huge chunk out of it and kind of, you know, keep working with it. I've got a little bit more stuff I want to do here before I wrap out the video. So I am going to do some more stuff off camera here, and I want to kind of show you guys, at least structurally, like where the building's going to end up. We're going to move our mobs in, and then we're going to finalize this. We'll destroy this at some point later. I'll probably actually do that on stream on Tuesday, which is tomorrow as of recording this. So if you watch the stream, you would have already seen this building finished, and you would have already seen me destroying live on the stream. But that notwithstanding, guys, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate everybody that has been leaving comments, contacting me on social media, you know, everything else, hanging out in the channel, hanging out in the chats, the live stream chats and everything like that, and all the kind words you've had to say about this series. I really appreciate it. I can't believe we're going to hit 30 episodes soon in this series, which I never thought I was going to hit 30 episodes, nor did I think this world is also just about 1 year old, or it did turn a year old. I don't know exactly what the anniversary date was, but you know, we've had a year on this world now, and I mean, you think about all this stuff, not even just that I've done, but that Mandy and Tommy did when Mandy and Tommy played in here. You know, we've got so much stuff going on in this world, and there's so much left to do. Like, we haven't even scratched the surface. Like, this world, realistically, I mean, especially if I get other players in on it eventually, like, this world could go on for years. It really could. It could go on for years and years. So I'm going to do some more stuff off camera, and I will be right back. Hey everyone, welcome back, and well, as you can see, we've got some of our animals in place up here, basically because they decided to start despawning. For some reason, the cows, I had them penned up over there, and they just started, like, 4 of them just disappeared. I don't know where they went. They just disappeared. I managed to find one. I think it was wandering around down there by the building, but I'm not 100% sure exactly what happened, so I finally decided to just get the top layer on here. I'm not sure what the rest of this building is really going to look like, because we've got to figure out exactly what it's going to do. But I did spend some time finishing up the sheep portion of the building, of course. We've got all of our pigs, and we've got all of our cows up here. I may add a second, or yeah, third floor even. And I may add more space and just kind of try to move one of the animal types up there. Maybe the pigs, maybe the cows. I'm not 100% sure. But it's also kind of okay if they're just like in a free form, like large pen like this. Like, I'm not really all that chuffed about it, as long as we've got like a good area where we can breed them and concentrate them. But let me... Hi. Hello? Hi. Let me show you guys what I've got cooking here in terms of the downstairs area, because there's nothing really to the top of the building yet. This is going to get finished on stream when we destroy the building. So down here on the main floor, I actually went with a slab ceiling in here. So this is wood slabs, and then these are just some brick stairs, obviously. And then I went with some spruce logs in here. Decided to actually add a little bit of a different texture in there in the ceiling. And I think the only other thing that's really going to make this building kind of shine is once I actually destroy the building, I think it's actually going to look really nice in here. This farm is working gangbusters. We've got, I think, a stack at least of most of the wool types by this point. Yeah, I see you chewing that grass there. But that, again, we've got to do some work in there. And then this, of course, is where our rift thing opens up. And now I've already ripped open the top portion of the building, but we're basically going to be ripping out a whole big chunk of the side of this building when we go to demolish it. And again, that's going to be on stream. So by the time you see this video, the stream will have already happened, so it'll already be done. So you'll see it in the next video. But if you're not subscribed, like I said, go over to twitch.tv/epicfilm, guys. The link is down in the description box below. And you can catch me on my streams Tuesdays and Thursdays from 6 to 10 p.m. Eastern right now. And then sometimes on the weekends. I'm still trying to figure out a good weekend streaming schedule, but I haven't figured it out just yet. But let's head down into the basement. Let me show you guys what I've got cooking down here. And so I decided to just some bookshelves back there for some decoration. But then I went with this aesthetic of cobblestone, but then I chucked in some mossy cobble. We've got just other variations of stone blocks and whatnot all thrown in here. I decided to throw the wool types on the ground so I knew which box was which without having to remember which sheep is where upstairs. And then we closed the whole thing off. We got slabs on the top here. I honestly was thinking about doing cobblestone slabs, but I, again, wanted to break it up and add a little bit of a different texture in here. Add that nice wood, and then, of course, we've got the logs in between all of our chests here where we're catching all of our wool here. And, I mean, you can see there we've already got over a stack of pink, over a stack of orange. You know, I mean, we've just got so much wool cooking up here. I wonder why we have so little red. Sometimes, like I said, for some reason, sometimes the grass just doesn't grow the way I think it would or should or whatever the case may be. Most of the rest of these were at a stack or more, or we're close. But yeah, red is like seriously lagging here. I don't know what's going on with red. But again, this is a kind of farm where if we need a certain type of wool, if we need anything like that, we can just add basically whatever we really want to it. Maybe one thing that I can do, and this is really annoying because the observer blocks are right there, and because the, that's whenever the sheep get sheared, it automatically triggers this. The trapdoors get flipped up, so 2 of these trapdoors get flipped up every time that happens. It's really kind of aggravating, I'm not going to lie. A smarter man would have built the entrance either on the back or the front of the building instead of the sides of the building where all those observer blocks are. But, ladies and gentlemen, I never said I was a smart Minecrafter. That's just... no. Eventually, it'll probably bug me to the point where I will relocate the stairs, but that's not going to be today. It's not going to be right now because this video will never come out if I decide I'm going to keep doing things and keep changing things and whatever the case may be. So let's head and go to Sleepy, and then we're going to kind of go over some final things here before we wrap out the episode proper. Ah. The sound effects are free of charge, ladies and gentlemen. Don't ask. But yeah, so I'm thinking at the very least we have to put a roof on this building, and it's going to match the same roof design as the other buildings. We still have to add the kind of dark gray concrete side there into the build palette here so we can get those runners going up the side. We do have to demolish the building. Like I said, this is going to be the project I'm going to finish on stream. See, here goes this one. This one already flipped up. So, like, right back here, like, right here would have been the perfect place for the entrance. Would have been the absolutely perfect place. But, like I said, we are not doing it right now. You got it? It's not happening. It'll probably happen tonight on stream, though, because I will get so tired of it. It's just like, because it just doesn't look aesthetically pleasing, you know? And I'm trying to think, like, I think once I chuck some rubble in and around this room, it's really going to kind of add to the aesthetic value of it. The only thing is I can't really see why you guys not chewing up your grass. You've got grass there in front of you. I see the grass is regrown. Chew up your grass. Get your wool off. Yeah, you. Hey, you and you. Don't look at me. Don't just stare at me. This has got to be like my screenshot for the episode or something, right? Just bald sheep just staring at me. Like, what's up, guy? What's going on? How you doing? Oh, guys, I don't even. Oh, I don't even know. I really don't even know. But yeah, that's pretty much. And this stair design, this took me forever to come up with this aesthetic until I just realized once I have the stair thing in the middle here, you can just have them go flat across to the stairs over on the edge. I had them going up and then up again, and it kind of made this weird thing in the middle of the room that I couldn't, work out with the top floor as to how to actually get it up there. I just heard a trapdoor open again. But yeah, so we've got some of our animals in here. Remember, we still got to build a stable for our llamas and our horses. That's going to come sometime very soon. We've also got to finish the kelp farm, which is what I had intended to do before the cows, like, just randomly breaking off of their leads all the time, really kind of forced my hand into getting this structure built. Now, at the very least, we shouldn't lose any more cows or anything. I also, you know what I also need to do is I also need to get chickens in somewhere. Chickens might be a good thing. Like, if we threw like a little chicken farm somewhere up on the top of this build, maybe if we add another floor, what we could also do is we could also bring some cows and some chickens and some pigs up to a third floor of this, and it could be kind of like our little slaughterhouse floor. Like, we can just have like some animals that are kind of penned in down here on this floor, and then upstairs is where we can have like some automatic farms where, we breed them up and then, we can lava blade them or whatever the case may be and get a whole bunch of cooked meat and stuff like that all at the same time. I'm not 100% sure. There's a lot of different things that we can do realistically with what we've got going on here. But ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it for today's video. That's going to do it for everything here. I've rambled on more than enough about this silly project here. And man, this area, the more stuff I get done, the more it just makes me realize how much there is left to do. There's still so much work that has to go into this area, but I love everything that's going in here. I love how much detail we're starting to pack into this area. It's starting to look absolutely amazing. And that's only going to continue because we've got so many more plans. We've got so many more things to do. So I will hope that if you guys are new to the channel, please chuck me a follow. I would really appreciate it. And, make sure you ring that bell, guys. Ring that bell. And I would really appreciate it. Like the video so that YouTube knows that you want to see more of the content from here on the channel. Thank you very much for watching this episode of Tritoncraft, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.